Hey, let's make some R&B from scratch. Let's get started. So first off, I'll just play you the kind of simple beat that I made, and then we'll go over it, and we'll go over each component of the beat. So here's the whole beat by itself. So that's the whole beat right there. Pretty simple, but we can add a few things later on as well if we want to. That's kind of like the baseline for our beat. So let's go over how we did that. So the first thing that's the most important is what instruments you're going to use. So for R&B, a lot of what you hear you're going to hear some pianos, guitars, bells, some cool, very like calm and chill synthesizers and things like that. But what I went with is I went with a couple synthesized pianos. So the thing that we used for those two instruments is called Citrus, and Citrus is a kind of synthesizer plugin thingy that you have included with FL Studio. So if you click on Citrus here, and then you click on presets, you should see a bunch of different options. The two instruments we used, one of them was a piano, and it's this E grand piano here. And the other one is a bell, and it's under the piano bells. So if you click on it, you'll get the preset that you want. So let's try out this E grand piano first. So if you click on here, you should see the instrument itself, and then you can go and play some notes like this. Awesome. So that doesn't really sound anything like the piano that we have. So how do we get it to sound a little bit cooler? So first I'm going to go to that pattern itself. So let's go over that. So now that we're on that pattern, we have this E grand piano here, right here. And we have this these chords for the piano roll. So let's listen to what they sound like by themselves. So I'm going to switch it from song to pattern so that we're just playing that pattern. So let's click out here and then we'll play it. So that sounds a little bit different than the other piano that we had. And there's really only two effects on it. And it's just kind of changing the frequencies that are coming out. So you're hearing a lot less of those higher frequencies that were playing in the original piano. So how do we do that? First of all, we're making sure that our piano is on a certain mixer track. So for this one, we chose 8. So we're going to open the mixer, and then we're going to go to that channel 8, and we're going to see we have 2 EQs on it. So this first EQ looks like this, and it has taken out all of the high frequencies. And then the second EQ has just a little bump in here to make these sound a little bit cooler in the bass part. So let's hear it without those 2 EQs first. So it still sounds cool, but it sounds a little bit twingy and kind of like high pitched for my opinion, and I think it doesn't really sound exactly like R&B. So what we're going to do is we're going to add this first EQ here, and that's going to take out all of these high frequencies. So the way that we did that was, I'll show you an example. We take this here, we click EQ2, then we go over here to presets, and we're going to click 20 hertz and 18 kilohertz cut. Then we're going to pull this guy down to wherever we want it to be. Awesome. So let's hear with just that EQ now. Awesome. So that's our first piano, and that's our kind of main chords that are going through the song. So the main two things that make these chords cool are the chords themselves and the fact that they're being strummed. So how do we get those two? So first, let's see how we can make cool chords. So the main thing that I think people should start using more often is this tool right here, which allows you to make cool chords. So basically, grab a chord from in here. A lot of them are cool. I chose the minor ninth. And you basically click here, and then you click into one spot, and it'll pick up your whole chord for you. And then the next thing that you do, if you want it to sound like it's being strummed, is you're going to do the following. So let's put in a minor ninth right now. And then what we're going to do is, because we have this selected, so a way to select your chords is you can just go like this and drag across, and you should have it selected. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go to this section up here, which is called Tools, and then you're going to click Strum. Now, strum is going to affect all of the things that have been selected. So in this case, it's only this one chord. And then we're going to adjust these time knobs. We're going to adjust this velocity knob to kind of get the strumming to be kind of what we like. Now, what this time knob does is it impacts how displaced the notes are from each other. So if you set it to 0, they're all going to be lined up. And then if you set it to very big, they're going to strum kind of very heavily. So like blah, 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 as opposed to all being strummed at the same time. So just adjust it to how you like it. And then the velocity knob, it impacts how the velocities, which is loudness of the notes, change as it's being strummed. So you can have it so that the first note being strummed is the loudest, and then they get slowly quieter from there. Or you can have it so that the last note is the loudest, and it goes from quiet to loud when it's being strummed. So it's really dependent on what you prefer and what you're enjoying and what you need in that moment. So kind of play around, play with the timing, play with the velocity, and then when you're done, click accept and it'll change it for you. So the main other instrument is this Bell's piano. So it doesn't really exactly sound like bells to me, but it still sounds cool. And it has a little bit of like a decaying echo effect on it. So it just plays the following here. So it really just kind of plays a descending boom, boom, boom at the end of the 4-bar section with the chords. And that really kind of adds a little bit more of a feel, and it adds kind of a variation to those 4 bars. So that is also played when the other small piano pattern is played. So around that same point, we have the following piano pattern. So these are kind of just separate ones, and they're a lot quieter than the main chords. But here, I'll play them all together for you so that you can hear all the different piano and bells together without the drums. So now let's go over the drums. This is the clap that we used. This is the kick. And this is the hi-hat. So the drum pattern is really simple. It's just a kick, a hi-hat, and some claps. So here it is. So obviously you can add more drums in there if you want to, and add some other layers. But this is kind of just the basic setup for now. So here's the whole beat.